As you probably know, you are in the old school in Hovsjö, and the students left this school 4 months ago. And now we are in progress with developing a project which should be a combining of a commercial and a cultural center. And we are using about, thank you, we are using about 30 million on this project, which is only a little part of what Patrick is doing in Hovsjö, and these 30 million are supported from the EU and TelgeHovsjö. And we started up having a lot of meetings together with the inhabitants in Hovsjö in these spaces where we are sitting. It was looking like that at the time. And we have an intensive couple of meetings, I guess around half a year in 2010, 2011. And at the same time, we found out that because it's an EU project, you need to follow the budget. So we needed to use some money in 2010, and we needed to have people to be aware of, yes, thank you. We needed people to be aware of that we were now trying to transform the school, and it would really take speed when the school was left from the students. But in the meantime, we did a new flooring in the gym hall, and we did it like this because we wanted the new floor to also be a part of the new conference center, where it shouldn't be just a gym hall you have conference in, it should be something else. And we also would like to promote the whole sports club around in Södertälje, how to use this sport center. And after we had been having these meetings with all the inhabitants, we went, yes, thank you, we went into doing the cafe you're sitting in here. This was Kaphal, isn't that the word? Pardon? Okay, thank you. And we transformed this into a cafe and what do we call that? Meeting, yeah, lounge, where the students could meet, and we did that on purpose before the school left here, because we wanted this to be a place where the school could try out the new learning areas they have in the new school. And as Patrick was talking about, the new school, you should see it. If you don't see it today, then go out here and see it. It's a total different way of having a school. And I guess this school that we now have here in Hovsjö would be one of the front schools, I guess even in the world, on this new way of learning systems, without any classrooms, with open learning systems all over. So we tried to do this as the first model, so the school could begin to get used to how to use it. And then, of course, we also wanted to have an area where we could meet with people outside school time and talk about what could Hovsjö Hub be in the future. What could this cultural center, what could this commercial center be in the future? And to end up the part of talking together with the inhabitants here, we had a little festival on a couple of days, and I think we should show that. Just to show everybody, now is something new happening in Hovsjö.
Sen vi fick också en vokal.
In fact, we did two things. We asked the students, especially the girls, to come up here and sing a song or do whatever they want. And we had all the mothers there and a couple of fathers. And then we did football, and we had all the boys and all the young men, yeah, because this is how you get in touch with young men and young boys, I guess, all over the Western Europe. Originally, the idea was that the meeting we had with the inhabitants should go into a project, talking together with them. What do we want? What do we think could be good for Hovsjö and for your way of living? But it showed up that it was too difficult for us or for them, but since it was our initiative, it was too difficult for us to get a project out of it. But we got a lot of ideas, we got a lot of meaningful thinking, and so the next step we took was that we went into a couple of local architect companies, studios, in Stockholm, of course, and in what is, pardon? Thank you, Eskilstuna. And after these meetings, we found out that we could try to work together with LLP, Fransson and Rayland, and Kjellander and Sjöberg, and AQ, of course. They have a contract on working here, and trying to get a new way of creating what this Hovsjö could be. And I think we'll show just a little video showing how they found the way we were working.
Jag har varit med i stadsutveckling på olika sätt. Dels i tävlingsform men också i dialogform, men aldrig på det här sättet.
Det utmanar en som arkitekt, inte bara rita utan tänka mycket.
Alltså det som händer är jätteintressant. Det är många olika grupper som samarbetar.
And the idea is that these studios, instead of compete, which they are really used to, they should work together and give the ideas to each other. And you all know, if you share some knowledge, you still have it. A lot of other people have it too, so you are really gaining more value in the project. And after a couple of weeks, they were really working together. And what you are seeing here is that we also established a local office in the middle of the schoolyard with two architects which were employed especially to take care of this in I guess it was from about, you know, because they are up there, Sarah and Linda, was it about autumn and until New Year, where they took care of that the project developed on site, because of course it's much more convenient to have the project locally instead of sitting somewhere, Copenhagen, Stockholm, wherever, and talk about something out there. No, be inside and talk about it, go outside, look at it, and this was the way we were working with the project. And what we did at that time was that we took it from what Patrick has been talking about, the Vision 2020, and took that vision, and then we had to incorporate this project, the Hovsjö Hub, and be sure that whatever is going to happen in the future, that we knew how this would be a part of the whole developing instead of just something on itself. And this is one of the plans where we took in what Patrick already had talked about to develop new living areas here. It's a part of, I mean, to develop the area, and it's also a part of gaining money, so you can take care of the old part of the area. And we also to show a picture from more detail on the school. You are sitting here in the school, you are sitting here. And to transform a school to a local community center for culture and commerce, you need to have a structure where people, when they come into the buildings, they can find out to go around the buildings. It should be easy for them to know where they are, and it should be easy for them to find a place where they can meet. One of the big issues in Hovsjö and with culture for the people living here is that they normally, where they come from, they meet, they talk. In Sweden, it's quite difficult if you don't have some kind indoor. It's really difficult to meet anywhere because, I mean, what do you do outdoor in the snow? So these people in these small apartments, you talked about how small the apartments is, they need somewhere to meet. So this could be a place to meet, it could be a place to trade, it could be a place to get education. And it is emerging a little that way. I guess we should have the next picture. Yeah. It is emerging a little that way, and we, of course, because we were architects, so we did big plans, we did big budgets, we had really a lack of money. We could use more than the double of money. But then again, it showed up when we showed Patrick and his staff the ideas we had. They said, yeah, somehow it's good enough. And somehow we are not really sure we like it. Patrick even made a project for us. I'm not sure we thought it was better, but it was also a project. And it provoked us to think, what are we going to do now? And what we are doing now is that we have three issues where we think that we will try to show that something new has happened in the school. And the one issue is all the outdoor areas. We are changing, of course, the schoolyard, having a little trade area here. And we are changing the areas in front of the school so we get a parking lot. And we are especially, for those of you who came by car, changing it to something that is nicer to look at. I guess that nobody has really thought about that since they built it. So we really think that we could do something about that. And the other central part we are doing something about is the gym hall, where we are together with these areas, together with areas just behind you, are making places for seminars, for meeting areas, so that you could both have cultural welcome events here, and let Hovsjö be known because you can meet out here on seminars. And then we have, which I think we should take the next drawing, and then we have this area, you are sitting here, and then we have this area behind, which is quite a big area. It's a double of this area we are in here, where we connected to the gym hall and connected to the new yard outside, which is the center of the center, and then, of course, connected to a center which is here, which is TelgeHovsjö's administration. They will be the cultural center of the new center. And here again, yeah, I guess that when we were working on that, it was... pardon? Oh, we are in lack of... Okay, so I'll just explain that. When we started up showing what we were thinking that we should build for the administration, it was here, around this area, which is where the old building for classrooms, behind you there, and what we have done here was about 3 million. And after a couple of weeks, Patrick told us no. And I guess you even said you don't know really, you didn't really knew why you said no, but you said this is not what I want. Then we went into this area, came up with a new project, and this was about, I guess, 1 million. And still, this was better. It was obvious much better. And we still fulfilled the purposes. And then, I guess it's only 1 or 2 days ago, we came up with this project, which you can, in fact, you can see it because we only do small things there, but with quite a big impact. And now we have done a project which will be about 500,000. So we move the administration from where they are in the bottom of the living area to this area for around 500,000. And when we showed this to Patrick, he said, oh, I have some small sayings about these areas, but apart from that, go for it. And this, I guess, is typical. I guess it's typical for your way of working. I'm not sure, do we have any pictures of, no, not of the areas? The next is the picture of the craftsman in the gym. Okay, let's just take that then. Because it's typical, I guess, for Patrick's way of working that let's take it down. Let's take it down to a level where everybody can understand it. So now we are working in a way where we have all these plans. We have a frame. We know what we are doing. But we have put them away. And we go around in these buildings, talk about what are we going to do here, what are we going to do here, what are we going to do there. And the thing is that if you think on the three main issues we are doing, this is about, I think, because I'm an architect, I guess, this is only about 10 million. Then we have some needs we need to do to keep the building alive. Things haven't been maintained. It's a little about roofing, it's a little about ventilation, and it is a little about water supply. It's about 5 million. But what you really will see when you go around in the buildings is that we are straightening them up, we are cleaning them, we are repairing only where it needed to be. We are not just taking a project and do new classrooms, no. We are taking everything down not needed, and then we are cleaning, tidying, and painting a little. And now it shows up that we, in fact, can refurbish this school in that way for only 5 million. We have 7,000 square meters. It's really nothing if you go into each square meter. But it's about 5 million for 7,000 square meters. The way we are doing this is together with the local companies, the local workers, and a couple of the people you saw on the boxing picture, if you remember what Patrick was showing you, they are now employed and are working here inside the building companies. And it means that people find that they have some kind of connection to the building. And just to give you three examples, yesterday we asked them to take down, what is the English word, marquise? Marquise. Yeah, thank you. We asked them to take them down in a little yard we have in the center of this building. And instead of just taking them down, they called a company who could use the spare parts. So they were taken down for free. We had in the woodcraft, we had a lot of small machinery. You couldn't even sell it. You couldn't do anything. But the people working here, it was not our decision. They just did it. The people working here, they found people who could use them. So suddenly we had cleaned up the whole area for woodcraft and the machinery for taking out the dust and everything for free. And the last example is that the same schoolyard I was talking about earlier with Marquise, we came up with a plan, because that's our nature, we do plans. So we came up with a plan and talked with the company who is working most here. How could we do this plan? And everybody was thinking it's a nice plan, and it was about 400,000. It's too much for a little yard when you only use 5 million to refurbish the whole building area. But then they said, oh, if we are only doing this, this and that, then we don't have to take out all the earth. And then perhaps with sedum, you know what you are using on roofs nowadays, to delay the water from the rain, then perhaps if we're doing it that way, we could do it for around 200, perhaps less than 200,000. And this is the way we now are working, together with people, trying to connect them into a project. And whatever we are doing, we are trying to do it locally. Sounds a little funny when we are coming from Copenhagen, but we are then still living here, and we think that you always need something from the outside. But the rest is local. We get local when we have prints for drawing, whatever it is. We don't print them in Copenhagen. No, we print them locally. We have it in a locally engineer company, and as I told you, we are living here part of the time. And Hovsjö Summer, which you were talking about, are helping us by cleaning out the classrooms and by putting grass and so on. And I guess we should take the last picture because it's not that good a picture, but it was one of the pictures we took because we had to discuss something with the people who are working here. But this is a picture from our new changing rooms, and the work there is partly done from Hovsjö Byggere because they are local, and Lena has a project, and of course we try to incorporate that in the project, and they did all the tiling down in the bathrooms. Thank you.